and it kind of just ended up happening this way. Is we have Melchor Manibusan of Coffee Slut, who he had put something on his Instagram, a very harshly worded rebuke of the governor's executive order. And you and I got something in common, Mel, because I posted something on my Facebook that was intended for my Facebook people, and someone copied it and pasted it, and they put Chris Barnett at the bottom and sent it out on WhatsApp, which I totally didn't do, but they did the same thing with your Instagram videos. They copied it and sent it out on WhatsApp, and here we are. You went viral, right?
Yeah, we do have some FCC guidelines. We gotta abide by. So if you could just,
Yeah, that might be
know.
Adonis. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, but Mel, I mean, you're in an interesting position because obviously you have very strong opinions about mandating vaccinations, but you're also
a business owner.
a business owner. So business's owner. I mean, that puts you in an interesting place because in a month from now, when the governor's deadline is passed, if you're not fully vaccinated, are you able to enter your business?
I guess not. And well, guys, first I want to start off by saying I'm sorry and I apologize if I offended anyone. Yes, Sabrina, us big girls, right? When we get our period and we hear we get an allergic reaction to nonsense, right? So that's what happened. Is I was having my period on Friday. I get all these calls and messages, and you know what? I blew up. When you don't change your tampon, you feel the get a little bit aggravated, and and I say I was just disappointed because I can't
Malk, let me just let you in on something. It doesn't matter if you're menstruating or not. If you are offended by something or if something like this bothers you, it doesn't matter. You speak your mind regardless.
Thank you. Thank you.
But thank you for that analogy that I don't agree with. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but if I offend anyone, okay, I'm sorry, but also I thought of you, here I am. I had COVID. Supposedly I had COVID. I mean, I had a headache, right? So I had a headache, and Tylenol killed my headache, and I had a cough, and NyQuil killed my cough, and so I was fine. 10 days later, I'm headed to the UFC. I had to get my I had no symptoms. I'm completely fine. I had to get my test to send to the UFC, and I got tested positive for COVID. So I guess apparently I have the antibodies, and I still do. On my returning back from LA, I tested again positive, so I still have this whole COVID in me. So I mean, some people are vaccinated. They're able to get the COVID and transfer it, and I'm just unvaccinated, and I'm unable to go to my business now, and I'm unable to operate. I can't go to social gatherings, and so I think man, I just got this other lease. I'm about to open up a new coffee slut, and now I can't even go there and help set up and prepare and whatnot, right? Or maybe when no one's there, I can go there. But now this whole thing of you can't the food industry, dude, I have my health certificate. I have my health certificate for 18 years now. I abide by the law about being, if I had a headache, coughing, sneezing, you don't go to any food establishment. That's been part of my life for 18 years already. So I understand the health and safety of our customers. And that's, for me, that's first and foremost, right? So yeah, when I heard that, I was just a bit disappointed, and I'm sorry I overreacted, but I was just, no one else is going to speak up for me, right? My daughter's 12 years old. I don't want to vaccinate her. She's healthy. She goes on, she plays golf. She gets the sun hit her skin. She gets her vitamin D, gets activated every day. I mean, can we just let her be normal? Me, I just want to just drink coffee. I want to drink just clean water. I want to smoke a joint a day to keep the doctor away. And that's it for me. I'm a simple guy, right? I'm a cheap date. I don't need no vaccine and no double vaccine and no booster shot, and then the Delta booster shot, then the Afghan booster shot, then the Mexican booster shot. I mean, I'll just drink water and coffee for now, and if I get sick, I'll go old school. I'll just rub the Vicks on my throat, and I'll be fine. So yeah, this whole business thing, I'm just, it's a big bummer, and I guess I can't go to my work, so I'm gonna have to figure this out real quick. I don't even know where to start basically, but I'm glad I tuned in a little bit earlier and I heard what Samantha, and I was glad I listened to Jackie Tarahi a little bit, and yeah, man, it's just it's a bit disappointing right now with our government right now, and
I don't think you have to apologize, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you're apologizing.
Yeah, and now you got to apologize for the apology because you said all that stuff about having a period. Well, let's get you on. Well, please. Hi, Will.
Hey, what's up, guys? Nice to see you this morning.
Right on. So, Will, you support this executive order?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm looking at the executive order a little bit differently. Like, I'm looking at the executive order from a utilitarian point of view. And my fundamental question when I examine this is, are these mandates lawful? Are these mandates effective? And are these mandates ethical? And so I want to go through all those one by one, if you'd let me. First, the lawfulness of these mandates. Both the Department of Justice and the Equal Opportunity Commission have ruled that businesses may lawfully require employees to get the vaccine as a condition of coming to the workplace. However, businesses must grant legitimate medical and religious exemptions. The private sector has wide discretion in setting the requirements for work, and they have an legal and ethical duty to keep the workplace safe. And so I could already hear the rebuttals here. Currently, all COVID-19 vaccines are administered under a emergency use authorization. The DOJ and the Equal Opportunity Commission specifically stated that employer mandates may occur even under the EUA. And to take that one step further, the U.S. is already acting as if the vaccines were fully approved, with public health agencies recommending that all eligible Americans get a shot. To go even further, the FDA has announced that they are going to likely approve Pfizer for full licensure in September. So this concern about this being an experimental vaccine, I mean, we're at the sunset of that. They're about to fully authorize this. That should remove any further legal hurdles, especially with government acting as an employer. They would be in a similar legal position as businesses. So, you know, the governor mandating that all employees get it, that is fully lawful, even under emergency use authorization.
Okay, so, Will, can we start with the EEOC?
Sure, go ahead.
Right. You mentioned that the EEOC, it does provide the guidelines for private employees to enforce vaccination mandates, right? But that decision, the way it seems, is for the the private sector, for these businesses to make that decision, not the government. Yeah, I mean, a week before, the governor in her 9 p.m. Instagram social media video, when she mandated all GovGuam employees to get vaccinated, she made an appeal to the legislative branch, to the judicial branch, to the private sector to follow her lead. So what are you saying with the EEOC? That it gives the governor the authority to mandate private businesses to implement a mandatory vaccination?
Not the EEOC. No. I said specifically private businesses have the latitude to require these things.
Yeah, but
you made it sound that it was in defense.
Even under an emergency use, and when the governor is acting as an employer, when the governor is acting as a business, as an employer, that same rule applies to the government. So even the government can mandate the vaccine under emergency use to their government employees.
Right, to their government employees.
Right.
But are you also saying that the governor has the authority to mandate businesses like Coffee Slut, like businesses like Huff Aloha that is closing down? Does she have the same authority? Does she have that authority?
This is settled case law. I'm surprised that the lawyer on here didn't talk about it. But in 1905 was the case. Let me look it up real quick. The vaccination case was...
This is the smallpox thing.
Yeah, it was for smallpox. But this has been Jefferson versus Massachusetts, I believe it was, 1905. but this has been enshrined in the Supreme Court, and twice in 1905 and 1922. In 1905, it gave states wide latitude to mandate vaccination of the populace, and in 1922, that upheld the right of the government to mandate vaccines in schools. So, I mean, the case law is there. I just wanted to start this dialogue.
I didn't see that in the executive order, this 19 forgotten lawsuit. So I did see the EEOC.
Let's not diminish it. America is a country of laws.
I'm just making sure that the private sector voices are being heard.
And this law was...
And their rights aren't being trampled on.
What rights are being trampled on, ma'am? This has been established in the court.
I don't know. Melchor, do you feel that your rights are being trampled on?
We may not agree with the decisions of our elected representatives, but we as a society have chosen to make the courts the referees. And the courts have upheld that these are lawful and legal orders. So as long as we start from the basis that these things are lawful and legal, I'm more than willing to continue this dialogue. But we need to establish first that this is not a question of our rights being violated, because we have the case law that says it isn't. And if anybody disagrees, I would highly encourage them to take it up with the courts, because in America, we are a land of laws, and we handle our disputes in the court of law. And we have 100 years of case law that says everything the governor is doing is legal, even though we don't like it.
Mel, do you feel like your rights are being trampled on?
You know, I mean, yeah. So right now she's the boss, right? And I ain't no lawyer, I ain't no scientist, I ain't no freaking doctor. But it's just not cool, bro, Mr. Parkinson. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand, brother. Like, there's plenty of decisions the government makes that I don't agree with. Like, you know me, I don't want to debate with you. I gotta accept that the government won't hire cannabis patients. And, you know, I don't like it, but them's the rules. They get to set the rules.
Yeah. And that's why I disagree with that. You know what I mean? That's why one of my rant the other day, I disagree, although she has the power to do these kind of things. And like, again, I ain't no lawyer, I ain't no scientist, I ain't no doctor. I just totally disagree with a lot of things that are going on. A lot of stuff is leading towards the communist side of stuff right now. And I just disagree with it. You know what I mean? I have the COVID. I am positive. I am COVID positive. I am 100% fine right now. You have the vaccine. You can transfer it to me and I can transfer it to you. I'm just saying it kind of sucks when I can't go to my job and do my thing because I am unvaxxed. Now you're trying to separate us. You're trying to, now the pandemic is against the unvaccinated. Like, so I'm the problem now. Yo, bro, this is just not cool. But yeah, you probably know a lot about the law right now, and you can, and I'm not even going to try to debate with you and argue with you, but what's going on right now is unethical and it's not cool and it's not right, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That's why I had an allergic reaction to some BS. But you know what? Maybe someone like you can educate me later on another time.
Yeah.
I'm not here to debate and argue with you, but this whole situation sucks, and I'm just speaking up for me. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm gonna let the world know right now. In January 8th of 2018, I had a mild stroke, and doing my research for me, that the vaccine can blood clot you, it can give you heart failures and whatever the heart. That already was 10 times too many times that I heard about the vaccine could probably hurt me and you know what I mean, disassemble my heart in many different ways. So I don't want to be a test. I fought all over the world. I tested my heart 100,000 times. I'm good to go right now. But I'm just very disappointed that I can't go to my job site and perform my duties because I'm unvaxxed and I'm the problem now. The unvaxxed is the issue now. That sucks, you know what I mean? So maybe you can get into an error with the government or the leaders that's making these laws and pushing these mandates, and let them know, like, it's not cool. And maybe, and I understand, I don't want the cases to rise either, bro. I don't want the hospitals beds to be completely full. But you know what? I'll tell you what, man. If all hospitals on island are completely full to the rim, in the hallways, on the sidewalks, tents outside, I'll ask the governor for a gallon and I'll down that gallon. You know what I mean? If there was a powder form, I'll lace my joint and I'll smoke it. But the whole thing right now is that's not happening right now. The island is 88% vaccinated. Just a few of us adults and a few kids are not. So I like what Jacqueline said, man. It's like, so who's the problem now? It's just kids, and now kids can't go see their grandparents, and we can't participate in small gatherings because we're unvaccinated. You're creating a separation. You're gonna make people like me very pissed off. You know what I mean? So I know you're a lawyer. You know the laws, and you know how you know how to
lawyer. Thank you for thinking I am.
Or well, whatever. Maybe you understand all this stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, you sound very educated, and I'm not up to date with all the laws right now because everything keeps changing. Science keeps changing every 3 months. The law keeps changing they adapt it and have all these loopholes for everyone that wants to freaking break the laws and the rules. I just want to stay open. It's been a hard year for Coffee Slut. We've done everything possible to stay open and keep our employees, you know, and that's it. You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Thank you, Mel.
I'm just
Thank you.
I'm just trying to do our best to stay alive. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'd like to touch on that point of the
Mel, you
if
can
the
split if you need to.
mandates are ethical.
You need to split.
I mean, people cite bodily integrity, personal liberty, and freedom as the most common justifications for refusing vaccines. But to me, these arguments don't hold water. It's true that everyone has the right to refuse medical intervention for their own good. I do not dispute that. But vaccines not only protect the person vaccinated, but also that person's family, neighbors, classmates, and coworkers. No one has the right to go into a crowded classroom or workplace unmasked and unvaccinated. Vaccine mandates do not unethically discriminate. Discrimination is wrong when it is based on irrational reasons or animus, such as race, gender, or disability. But vaccine mandates are simply a tool, and they apply equally to everyone. They don't impute blame or seek to shame the unvaccinated. They are intended only to keep the entire population safe. Finally, required proof of vaccination does not violate a person's privacy. Individuals are free to decline to give information about whether they received the shot. But if they do decline, they must expect reasonable consequences to ensure everyone's health. Like requiring a person to get vaccinated is part of the fabric of American history, going back to the Revolutionary War. George Washington compelled his troops to get smallpox vaccines, saying it was necessary to safeguard soldiers and to win the war. And not only is mandating vaccines lawful, but it is also an ethical responsibility. Far, far, far too long, and this is the thing that kills me, Americans and Guamanians have asked themselves, what entitlements do I have as a rights-bearing citizen? I think we need to flip that around. It's time for us to ask, what duties do I owe to my neighbors, my community, my country, and my island?
But, well, I mean, to be
Getting
fair,
the COVID-19 vaccine shot, excuse me?
Yeah, we're really on a lot of time, but I want to just say that we've done a lot, Will. We have done a lot as a community. We've done so much. We've jumped through this hoop. We've stayed home. We've washed our hands. We've, dealt with the lockdowns. We've done a lot. So to act like we're sitting here talking about our entitlements, frankly, it's ridiculous because we have done what
you're not speaking of your entitlements, but there are a lot of people
but
that are
Will, when you talk about like people who don't want to take it because of religious or medical reasons, I think if people just don't want to take it, that's a valid reason too.
No doubt, but they must, like, life is about choice and consequence. Sure. If they don't want to take it, they must be willing to live with the consequences of their choice.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right
Bye,
on,
guys. Thank
Take
you.
it easy. Right on. Obviously, we got all week. I mean, this is just really the beginning. It's 10:14. Proudly brought to you by Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, ITNE, and Jack in the Box. Good job today, Bree.
Good job.
Well, this is tough, guys. My mom got me this shirt over the weekend. It was like $11 on sale. And I wore it today because I read somewhere that blue flowers are very calming. So I wore this hoping to bring you guys a little calm this morning. I don't know if it worked.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah, it seemed like it had the opposite effect. So maybe tomorrow I'll try red flowers. Or